Can also come from
Good morning to one and all present here. I welcome you all for the 6th day ATAL FDP program on comprehensive cyber security techniques. Today, Chief Guest is Arun S, Principal Security Architect, IBM Bangalore. Sir has completed BTech in Information Technology at 2014, postgraduate in Project Management, Global MBA in Australia. Some interested areas are web application, cloud security, cloud active security, threat modeling. He has served as a chapter lead for a null security community in Bangalore and currently holds esteemed position of chapter lead for null OWASP Coimbatore. Additionally, an active participating contributor, moderator and member of various security communities including Decides, Null, etc. His expertise has played a crucial role in enhancing security across both service, product division, spanning of various sectors such as e-commerce, healthcare and banking among others. We all are happy to have you, sir. Once again, I welcome you all.
full introduction. So how many people do we have here? I think very limited crowd, I believe, right? So I expected at least 50 to 100 people, but unfortunately it turned out to be only 10 to 20 hardly, I believe. So are people joining in? Should we wait for some more people? Right? Because they might miss a lot of things. That's why. If the introduction is not understood, then they can't understand the meaning. That's why. Sorry? Oh. So before people join in, so let's have a lot of introduction and I believe my introduction already ma'am have given. So how would you guys, how many of you are faculty members, how many of you are students, research scholars? I would like to know that. So let's start from. So do we have faculty members from other colleges as well? Oh, that's great. So I got only from KG. Okay. By the way, I'm an alumni from KG. So I did my BTech in information technology from Kite. So it's been more than 10 plus years now. So in the industry, in the cybersecurity, I think now I've already given an introduction. So I have one more slide about talking about me. So let's move on to the next person.
From Security department, KGCAS. Ravanya from Security department, KGCAS.
Nali, system engineer, KGCAS. Anjan, ECT, KGCAS. Arun, ECT, KGCAS.
So myself is Jaykumar, research scholars, Krishna Aditya Karlam. So myself I have the opportunity.
Oh.
Research scholar, my basis, also faculty KGCAS.
I'm Maninder, BSc IT department, KGCAS.
I am Arun Kumar, PG scholar in KGCAS.
I am Surya. I am pursuing MCA at this college.
Oh. I am. Okay.
Priyadarshini, assistant professor, class professor, KGCAS.
I hope I missed his introduction. So last person. Karthik. Yeah. I missed your introduction, Karthik. So.
Okay, assistant professor, Department of Electronics in KGCAS.
Oh, great. Let's get started. So how many of you are curious about cybersecurity? I believe like in the past 5 days, I don't know what the topics have been covered, but in general, you guys have seen something related to your professional work related stuff, like for example, product or a tool which might be used in their IT profession, maybe let's say for example, SAM monitoring tool or a SOC monitoring tool. What were the topics? Maybe you can just give me what was covered in the past 2-3 days. I believe it's a 6-day program, right? So what are the you guys have learned in the past sessions? I didn't manage to attend the last 5 sessions, so you can let me know what are the areas you guys have covered and how is it going to be different. I'm going to put a disclaimer in the beginning as well. So to put a disclaimer, so that's the next slide I have. So let me set the context here. The things which I'm going to show here is completely illegal. Okay, what I'm going to show, even our law enforcement team in cybersecurity divisions doesn't know much. That's the stuff I'm going to show here. So whatever stays in the room, I mean whatever I'm going to show in the room is going to stay in the room. So nothing will come.
You are in the YouTube live.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's great. Thanks for letting me know. What do I do? Okay, there's a disclaimer slide, so that shouldn't be a problem. Okay. Yes, let me set the context. So look into next generation security gadgets. So why I opted for this particular topic is because there has been a lot of advancement have happened in the security realm lately. Right? So one such area is mainly into security gadgets. This was not a big thing because in the initial days people talk about, okay, there are some smart hacking gadgets are there, people play around with it, or script kiddies are there, how they are going to infiltrate to the network or in a physical premise. So all these things, a little bit here and there, people usually talk about, and it will be kind of an FBI stuff or some sort of a only terrorist guys who are going to use it. Something of that sort, they usually claim it to be. And in the YouTube and other places, if you guys have seen, people brag about all these hacking gadgets and things like that, right? But have you ever tried one physically on your own, in your day-to-day life? Anyone have come across any hacking gadget? Because that's been a fantasy term, right? Like, okay, what if someone walks in a room and then hacks everyone's mobile phone, their credit card details, or control whatever the control systems are there in the room, right? So that would be one. That would be great, right? Like if someone is doing that. So what if I tell you that I can show all these things today with one piece of hardware gadget? That's what we're going to show. I mean, we're going to see today. So I'll show that in detail now. Yes. Maybe this light when someone switched off so that it will be more clear. Karthik, can you switch this light off?
Yes.
No, this light. Only this one. Yeah, fine. Okay, this is fine, right? Good. So let me give an introduction about myself first. So since ma'am are already given, but let me go to it once again. So I'm a principal security architect at IBM. Have 10 plus years of experience in the infrastructure world. Then I've been part of OWASP Null Bangalore chapter for nearly 8 plus years, and been a global OWASP member as well. So if you guys are wondering what is an OWASP, it's an open web application security project. Pretty much all the industry standards which has been defined when it comes to web application, API, mobile, network, decline, container Kubernetes, whatever you guys have heard of with respect to any technology for that matter. So there has been industry standard every company or organization has to follow, right? So they have to set up the benchmark. So who's going to set up that? There's a non-profit organization called OWASP. So who is setting that? So that's the standard which is being followed by every IT firms out there. Okay, we talk about Google, Microsoft, IBM, name any company, they're going to follow that standard. Okay, so that's where OWASP is all about. So I'm a global member of OWASP, and since I've been working in Bangalore for quite some time, so right now I'm working from home in Coimbatore because my native city is Coimbatore. So I'm an alumni, as I already told. So I thought, why not start a chapter here on OWASP Null? So you might be wondering, what is this OWASP Null chapter here? So it's kind of a monthly event and a hacking event which we usually conduct. So 3 months once it will be like in a massive scale where around 1,000 participants will be expecting. Kind of a conference, kind of a setup. But every month it will be kind of a monthly event. Again, around 100 to 200 people will be there. So last week I think we have conducted in Krishna College. So where we had around 200 plus people, so including faculty members and the students. So what is this all about? Is like, okay, there are a bunch of folks, the industry folks as well as the students or the faculty members, everyone will be there in one room or an auditorium where we'll go and discuss about all the security stuff. So whatever you guys have as a 6-day program here, so that's going to happen every month as a monthly event. Okay, and there will be hands-on events as well. For example, you wanted to do some sort of a hands-on on specific areas of technology in cybersecurity. So that's what's being covered. Anything related to security, you are feel free to become a speaker. So we'll be there to help you out in becoming a speaker. Even if you're a first-time speaker, you don't have any clue what to talk about. Even if you're a student or faculty member, doesn't matter. So just an open mind if you have it. So we'll guide you on which areas to research, and then you can come and present over there. So that's a global forum, and OWASP.org is the official site for the OWASP non-profit org. So it will be published over there. So I'll be showing that at the end of the session so that you guys have more insights on it. Okay, so I'm the current OWASP and Null competitive chapter lead. So Null, again, it's an open source security community. I have a couple of stickers here. I think I've given to Karthik sir, so maybe he'll distribute it to you guys. I couldn't print the OWASP unfortunately, so maybe next time I'll give it to you guys. Yes, Null is again an open security community which is actually formed based out of Bangalore. There are a bunch of folks, again, security researchers who was sitting in a coffee day shop in one fine day, and then we're discussing why not we gather as a gathering and then discuss about security. And we are from various organizations. So every organization is not following the same standard or some new tools a competitor might be using, but not the other firms, right? So why not discuss about this and then come up, like it's kind of a knowledge sharing and a brainstorming kind of an event. So why not we conducted was an initiative which was taken by Asim Jackar and Akash Maharajin. So then it became a national security conference as well, which happens at every year in Goa, Nalgon Security Conference. And so if you get any time, so feel free to visit Nalgon, Goa, where you see all the security experts across globe would be gathering over there. So Goa is obviously a beautiful place to visit, right? So that's where all the hackers usually come and spend their 1 week time on hacking everything. So you'll be seeing a bunch of people will be opening their car and then hacking the cars, two-wheelers, your smart devices and whatnot. So it's kind of a fantasy stuff which I was talking about. So that's you're going to see there, right? So a small version of that as an open source one. So this is like a business aspect model for the conference stuff. But when it comes to the open security community, so they have a version which is called as null open security community. So that's what we have planned here. So OWASP null is a complete non-profit org, right? So we have to give everything for free. So that's the objective here. So no need to pay anything. So there is no hidden charges, nothing of that sort. Okay. So no promoting any of the proprietary products as well. So that's also not something we are going to promote. Okay. So that's about OWASP null. And I've been an international speaker at various security conferences. DEFCON, again, if you guys have heard of DEFCON, that is globally, that's one of the best conferences, I would say. DEFCON and Black Hat. So these two are the conferences which happens at US Las Vegas, and we have in Singapore and other places. So I've been a speaker at DEFCON Adversary Village. So if you are wondering about adversary, so adversary is like red teaming, blue teaming, purple teaming, you guys have heard of. So that's we call it as an adversary. So we conduct adversary simulations there. So I've been part of that and then delivering talks over there. And COCON, again, an international security conference which is being conducted at Kerala usually. So this time it's organized in Gujarat. So Kerala Cyber Dome Division and Cybercrime Division units, Air Force, Navy, military, Army base, everyone, every person will be coming over there. So it's kind of a complete defense Army base. All these focal members will be coming there. You can see a lot of security researchers, even the Cybercrime Division unit, how they are operating in Kerala. So they will be coming over there and then sorry about that. So delivering the sessions, and that's an international security conference. I've been a speaker over there. Similarly, we have a bunch of other conferences besides. That's why I put on etc. So I don't want to eat up your time. And the next one, I've been an associate member of National Cybersecurity Research Council and Cybersecurity First Responder at ISAC. If you guys are wondering what is an ISAC, ISAC is a unit which is part of National Security Database. You guys have, most of you all have Aadhaar card, right? So have you ever wondered where the Aadhaar details are being saved? Who's maintaining that? That's National Security Database. Okay, so that's where. So ISAC is one foundation who's running a couple of courses as well as conducting National Security Scholar Program, and they have one of the beautiful program called Cybercrime First Responder, which is like a CCIO. Which is nothing but like even a faculty member or a student or a parents can attend that and become certified on that. So what it means is anyone who become a cyber victim, you might be seeing your kids or even college students or any of your family members or friends might be a cyber victim, right? So they don't know who to reach out to. So they are very hesitant to talk to law enforcement people, right? So they'll feel like, okay, if I go and talk to law enforcement, what will happen? So what my society thinks about me? Or things of that sort, right? If there is any blackmailing or things like that happens. So that's why this cybercrime first responder program comes in place. So we have a lot of CCIOs, cyber first responders within Coimbatore. Around 100 plus cyber first responders are there, if you guys are not aware of. So where the purpose of these cyber responders are like a go-to person for you guys to discuss pretty much whatever thoughts you have with respect to you being a cyber victim or your family member is a cyber victim. You don't know what to do, how to file a case. How to go about it. So you're being blackmailed. So how to tackle that? So these sort of things, we have cybercrime first responders who will take care of that. Right? They'll assist you completely. Again, that's completely free. So there's an application called Cop Connect from ISAC. So you can install that in your mobile application. You will be able to see who are the nearby cyber first responders. Right? And yeah, I've completed my global MBA from Techinques Business School, Australia. So I'll be traveling next month for my graduation. This particular month, next week I'm traveling to Australia for my graduation. And I've did a couple of industry standard certifications, CISM, OSCP, MCRT, if you guys are not aware of. All those abbreviations, Certified Information Security Manager, Offensive Security Certified Professional, multi-cloud red teaming analyst, like that couple of certs. Yes, going on to the disclaimer, this is one of the important slides. Why I mentioned this to be one of the important slides is because whatever we're going to discuss today It's completely illegal or it's being used in industry, but how you're going to use it makes sense, right? So you should not use it, for example, like in an illegal way. So I'll show you a lot of illegal ways how I've used it, but I got permissions for those, so that's why I've used it. So I hope most of you are faculty members. I want it won't be misused. I was wondering like, what if more than 100 students are there? So I was really worried about today's talk. What if I'm going to show all those things and they're going to misuse it, right? So it's a piece of gadget you can buy it for, let's say 20-30K, and it will get home delivered after customs duty clearance, where you can use it to roam around the computer in and out. I'm going to show you where in the lab roamed out, and then I did a lot of hacking stuff, right? So those sort of stuff we are going to see in a video demo as well. So whatever happens in room stays in room. Okay. So disclaimer: the information and demonstrations provided here is intended for education and informational purposes only. Hacking gadget shown is presented to illustrate concepts and techniques related to cybersecurity. Unauthorized use of hacking tools or techniques is illegal or unethical. The creator of this content does not endorse, that's me, or on any illegal activities. Always ensure you have explicit permission before conducting any security assessments or penetration testing. And use this knowledge responsibly and in compliance with all relevant RON regulations. So there's a reason behind why I put this slide. You will come to know that. So first of all, why should we discuss about this? So why talk about a next-gen security device? Because again, there are a couple of aspects to this. These are main aspects. So one is protecting your personal and financial data. So again, I need some volunteers from the crowd as well. I hope all of you have your debit cards and credit cards, right? I hope all of you have carried one. Correct? Okay, we are going to, I'm going to need at least a couple of volunteers on that particular demo. So we'll see that. And prevent identity theft, that is one more thing. And maintain system and data integrity, avoids financial and reputation damage. So I'll talk in detail about financial and reputation damage, why makes much sense to discuss about that. So can you see what you can figure out from this particular image? Can you tell me? What sort of technologies you can see from this particular image? Sorry? Phone, okay. Now, what sort of technologies you are seeing which is written over there? Communications. Okay, what sort of NFC and RFID you guys have heard of? Are you all using NFC and RFID? How many of you are not using NFC or RFID? Everyone using? Anyone not using NFC or RFID? Day-to-day life? Okay. Infrared? How many of you using infrared? Or not using it? Please raise your hands. You haven't used. You don't have a TV in your home?
Yes.
You have a TV remote? Which works in IR. Okay. So the next one, radio. So radio frequency is SDR. How many of you have used SDR devices? Radio frequency devices. Everyone using? What is that fancy device called? Which uses radio frequency. All of you have your smartphones with you? Whatever I have listed over here, everything is part of your mobile phone. Okay? Your mobile phone have all these capabilities, right? Certain phones have infrared, but not all phones. Okay? All of you have a smartphone, right?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe post this session, I'll change your perspective to go to Nokia 1100. Okay? So, yeah, let's go to the next one. So, cyber threats via gadgets, remotely controlling IR devices, and bypassing access control, stealing payment card details via RFID or NFC, and radio frequency attacks like hacking the cards or smart devices, then spreading malware, virus, worms, trojans remotely. How cool is all these things if someone can do this? So do you guys think these are possible? All these things are possible? How? Have you guys ever tried it or been a victim for it? Or have you ever seen it? Right? Okay, so which one out of this? Radio frequencies, okay. Okay, let's see one at a time. So how IR works? So we all know that infrared, again, there's a bunch of theory I've put it here. So you guys can feel free to read that. So I'm not gonna just read stuff in the slide. It's gonna be a practical session, right? So because Joel sir asked me to keep it like a hands-on session and more interactive, so I just wanted to keep it that way. So just to give a basic intro, so the technicalities are put in the slide. So I'll talk about in a very layman perspective how in a day-to-day life you're going to use it. Okay. So IR, as I mentioned, you know all your Bluetooth devices, or let's say your speakers which you have in your home. There are speakers which were operated in IR, right? And TV remotes. Even now we are using that in an IR fashion, right? So IR remotes are still there, and there are Wi-Fi remotes as well for the smart TVs. But still, there are devices which operates in IR, correct? And how about these ACs? These are all based on IR remotes? Yes. I hope you agree this is an ancient one, so obviously this is with IR, right? And a couple of such devices runs in IR. So what can go wrong in this IR area? Can anyone tell me what can go wrong? So what might be a problem in this? Can anyone tell me?
Cannot be used in long distance.
Long distance? Any other issues?
So frequency can be captured by anyone easily on the devices.
That's a good one. Okay. Anything else? No other answers? Okay, let's see if these ACs are controllable, right? Because these are old ones. I've tried new ones in my home, which work. Let's see if this works. Or if you guys have the remote, I can replicate that. So anyone have remote for this one? Okay. Let's start off with few things and then we'll come to this AC part, okay? So I have to capture that, it's going to take some time. So meanwhile, let me show you a few things which I have did, so that might interest you guys. Let's see what I have here. Okay, this one. You guys can guess which mall this is, but I'm not going to tell. It's from Coimbatore, okay? So you guys can see these sort of places, right, like in Coimbatore. TV showrooms. You guys have seen, right? This is the same piece of gadget I'm using, and you can see all those TVs goes down. You can see that one gone down. This is gone. Again, it will come back. So I can make this happen continuously, n number of times for all the TVs. This is there in the showroom. So what's the problem in this? Can anyone tell me? Of course, I can't show my face over there. But this is the gadget which I've used over there. You can see that, right? You can see. So pretty much all the other TVs which is on the left side, I've already switched it off. So that's gone. So I was sitting over here in the house, so I was trying these TVs. So only Bravia was a little okay, kind of, where it was preventing that, because they have some sort of a prevention there. But still, after some time, it all went down. So you guys can see this. So this video is going to play for at least 1 to 2 minutes. Again, this TV will come back. You can see that it keeps on flickering and then comes back. So this is like a universal remote control. You can operate with this particular piece of hardware gadget. So I'm not going to tell the name till the end of the session. Okay. So I just refer it to as a device. Okay. If you guys can figure out, that's well and good. Right. So you saw that, right? Like what is happening with these TVs. So I can make this happen n number of times in a showroom. So what can happen to a TV if you keep on using your remote on and off? You can control volumes as well, changing channel, everything you can do. Just for showing the massive impact, so I'll switch it off. What can happen here? If I go to a public place and doing this, what do you guys think? Okay, we are going to any showrooms or hypermarkets or all these malls. So I'm doing this. So what can happen? Can anyone tell me? Yes, please speak up. I think we have a lot of faculty here. Students are always silent, so why not faculty members speak? It's just a casual thing, so don't think that okay, it's a something theoretical I'm going to write about it. So I'm just asking you casually. So what do you guys think? What can happen here if someone is doing this anonymously? Let's say 10 people doing this throughout the showroom for one full day. What can happen?
Maybe panic will rise.
Panic would rise. Okay.
Sales goes down.
Sales goes down. Okay. There's a business reputation damage.
Yes.
People wanted to buy TV.
No.
You guys go to a showroom and all these TVs are switched off. Will you buy the TV?
No.
You're asking for specification when it's operating, it goes down. Will you buy the TV? The same goes for Bluetooth speakers or whatever boom boxes or all these subwoofers, whatever it is seen in all these showrooms. Everything can be controlled with this device, right? So again, it is not only with IR. So I've showed a couple of technologies previously, right? Radio frequencies or Bluetooth. So Bluetooth 5.0, IoT smart devices, which is there. So even my car is an IoT device. So pretty much all those devices you can control with this device. Okay. So there's a big business reputation damage can happen. You all agree? Okay. So this is what happens. I just put in 3 images so that it will be easy how to understand it. So one, you can control all the remotes by reading that particular frequency range. So whatever the IR remotes you have, even the AC remotes here, so all these will emit an IR radiation, right? So that can be captured with these devices. We have a microcontroller inside. So the technical specification I put in the slide, so you guys can read it. So there are basically a microcontroller devices and an IR sensors are there. So that's going to read your remote and then it can replicate. And similarly, we have universal remotes, right? So, for example, if you talk about any vendors like Samsung, LG, Sony, so these are common brands which you all use in a home, right? So all these brands are going to use the same manufacturer to manufacture the same remotes, right? For example, I bought a Samsung AC which is like 10 years old, and that had a remote. And recently I bought one which is like 1 week back. That's also having similar remote. There is no much difference. Only a slight difference is there, but the operational functionality is the same. And all those things can be read by these devices. So you can see this. There are 3 IR sensors. This is blinking here. So IR is not that easily can be seen in our naked eyes. Right. So we can't see that directly, but rather we will be able to control that and then do the same modulation again, so that we can replay from the device. So it's kind of a brute forcing. So you guys heard of brute forcing, right? The same, you think about, let's say I have 1,000 devices. I've recorded that and then replaying it. So these devices might be one among the 1,000 devices, right? Or you wanted to manually record that, that also is possible. So that you can replay the same. So that's one use case. And you can see here, there's one more showroom in Coimbatore, so where all these TVs were displayed, pretty much all the TVs are gone. So I tried that just for 5-10 minutes, it went off. And then they were wondering what happened. They have to grab at least, let's say, now they have universal remotes there with them as well. So that at least 10-15 TVs they can switch it on in a single time. The same way I keep on controlling this, they switch it on, and I can go and switch it off. So like that it keeps on going and they'll get switched off, right? So this is the part. So you wanted to read a new remote, you just place the remote next to the IR sensor, so the infrared signal will be captured. And this can basically help in controlling even old radios, your AC devices, your Bluetooth speakers, or your smart TVs, everything is prone to this, whichever uses IR. So next one we're going to see is RFID and NFC. Before we move on to this particular topic, anyone have any queries on IR part? Even if it is technical, totally fine. You can ask me.
What's the device name?
Okay, that's the last one. So I'm going to tell the device name at the last, and I'll give you guys so that you can see what and all options it have. So you'll be surprised and you'll be scared by going to home end of the day. Okay, so I'll make sure that happens. So NFC and RFID. So how many of you used NFC and RFIDs? Everyone? Okay. Tell me one thing. So nowadays we have our ATM cards, like the debit cards, which you can tap and pay, right? So this tap and pay technology, is it RFID, NFC or Wi-Fi? Okay. Any other answers? Everyone agrees that NFC or RFID? How many of you tell RFID? Raise your hands. Okay, one. How many of you are telling it's a Wi-Fi? How many of you are telling it's NFC? Okay, a lot of people are not raising their hands. So you're clueless to what is the technology used there? Is it? Okay. So you guys see NFC and RFID. It's again category of RFID only, where the NFC came in picture. So that's why I put an image here. Is this real NFC or not? So why? Because you guys have used all these things. For example, your ID card badges. So you have an ID card in your college campus where you have to swipe in order to enter. What does it say? Someone can clone that. I have a couple of devices with me. If you guys want, I can show those. So you can clone any of your ID cards. So I believe most of you are from different colleges, right? So I hope all of you have different ID cards. So how many of you wanted to give it a try? I can give a clone card so that you can try in your college. You have a backup card. You don't have to worry about you losing a card again and then paying money to them. You can use a clone card. So if it goes off also, it's totally fine. You can change it later. Sorry?
We'll try it after the session.
We'll try it after the session. Okay, cool. So I'll show you one more gadget. Again, this just to show you some example on RFID and NFC in real world how it works. So you guys can see the small box which you can carry like a cell phone, right? So what if I tell you pretty much all the swipe cards or NFC and RFID technologies, everything can be cloned with this single piece of hardware. It's banned in India, so that's a different story. But yes, this particular single piece of hardware can clone that. If you guys want to bet, so get your ID cards and we can try cloning. Okay? So similarly, the device which I was showing here, so with this device also, you will be able to clone or emulate, or you can copy to a new card and then use that as a backup card as well, right? Or you wanted to save that particular card frequency in this particular device, you can use this device to enter in the room. You don't need the ID card itself. You can completely control that. Why? It again uses RFID and NFC. Both we have a control unit within this device, which will help you in cloning those, right? So how it works in the backend? So I have a bunch of cards on my table here. So this again, I don't want to tell the vendor here because there's a YouTube live going on. So I don't want to specifically mention any vendor. If you guys are curious about any 5-star hotels in Coimbatore, I have those cards here, right? The hotels which you have heard of in Coimbatore. So I have one of those cards. And famous food courts, which I believe all of you have visited, right? So the food court cards I have here, and a couple of payment cards, duplicate payment card, and game centers. You guys would have played, right? So those game center cards, everything is clonable. And let me tell you one funny story here. So game centers, mostly you would have seen in all these malls, right? You will go and use or recharge this particular card, which is with magnet stripe, and then let's say 3K you recharge with, and your kid plays for 3K. What if I tell you once you recharge, you use it for lifetime? How cool is that?
It's good.
Sorry? Yeah, that's true. But like, what I'm telling is that's possible, right? That's a security impact there. Why? Because they don't have that much security things in place. Why? Because they have to distribute this to the crowd, basically the users, end users, which are nothing but kids and parents. they have to lend it, and per day the crowd would be more than 200 300 users, right? So 300 200 users, they have to issue 200 cards. So when it comes to the card issuing, then think about the card manufacturer, how much it's gonna cost them. So they'll always go for a lower, cheaper card for recharging, just to solve the business purpose, right? So what can happen in the, behind the scenes? Those who know or have this knowledge of cloning, they can misuse it because they don't have enough security measures in place. And what is the card, if you are asking me? The technology is MIFA Classic 1. So which is a very ancient one, I would say, because it's been there for past 10 plus years, right? So the same technology has been still used in your malls in Coimbatore. It's not only in Coimbatore, I'm talking about in Bangalore, even in abroad, in other places. I've visited some of the countries. They're also the same story, right? Even our bank cards are all like that, right? But again, the technology differs. So what I'm trying to convey here is there are two major frequency range you should be aware of when it comes to RFID and NFC. So first thing is low frequency, which is low frequency tag, which is of 125 kilohertz. The second one is a high frequency tag, which is a 13.56 megahertz. So how to identify which particular frequency in which your access control devices are working? So that's a big question, right? So I'm telling that, okay, majority of cards, for example, your college ID cards are using low frequency. Then you should remember that frequency, 125 kilohertz, right? Similarly, you see all these high frequency cards, which is like your Forex card, your Google Wallet. I don't know how many of you have heard of Google Wallet. So not Google Pay. Google Wallet is a different one. So that recently got released, and Apple Wallet is already there outside India. So what people do is they clone their cards. Basically, the bank card information would be there in your phone, and all your mobile phones have NFC, right? So you don't have to use your card to tap and pay. Now you can use your mobile phone to tap and pay. That's even scarier. You know why? Again, someone walking next to you, they can grab all your card details with this device. The same can happen in your wallets now. So that we are going to see in this particular demo. So who want to become a volunteer for this? Let's see that live. I'm not going to project with the projector, just to show you guys so that they'll say yes or no, whether their card information is leaked or not. It's not going to anywhere in the internet or anywhere, it stays in this phone. So would like to give it a try. Anyone have your debit cards which is already in expiry state? That would be even better. Anyone? Don't worry, I'm not going to use it. You all have OTP, right? You don't have to worry. There is no payment can be done with this cloning part. It's more of you getting the information. Who would like to become a volunteer for this? Please raise your hands. No one? What do you guys want to see you? I mean, a wonderful demo on how your credit cards or debit cards are secure or not. Or your own personal debit cards, credit cards are secure or not. Don't you guys want to see? Because all of you might be using different bank cards, right? So who knows which one is secure? Don't you guys wanted to know which one of your cards are secure? You guys wanted to know or not?
Live மறைக்காத camera.
Maybe you can see. Who would like to become a volunteer? Please speak up, guys. We'll make it fast. Yes, please. Please, gentlemen, come forward.
18.
We have one brave heart in this room. That's great.
Card இல்லையா?
Not in the card. Okay guys, I'm going to distribute 16 cards. Make sure you guys return this, please. Okay. So just to show you what sort of technologies are there, or one person can see that so that the entire bunch can be circulated around. Okay. So these are the different card technologies which are there, which is widely used in your colleges, your gym membership cards, your gaming centers. Where else you use it? Entering into any specific lab access, right, in your colleges, or any of your defense sector or cybercrime units. their special access they used to give, right? So that one, all these things. And you guys have seen in all these James Bond movies where one person will go and see whatever the device is there, they'll just go and wipe a card and then it'll make them enter, right? So that's not a dream, it's still happening. Okay, there's a universal card which they usually issue. And the same, I wanted to show you, these are the bunch of cards which is widely used in the market, and those are the cards which is properly clonable, right? So those are the list I have given here. Yes, the gray heart is here, so take your card. So let's see that. Don't worry, I'm not going to show to them. Can you guys see what I'm doing right now with this card? So it's actually trying to read with two specs, like which is it like asymmetric or not? So it's going to check that. There are two modes in it, so I'll show you guys how that is done. So right now, what I did is I just placed the device on top of this card. It's trying to read it. Okay. So is it 125 kilohertz? Is it a low frequency one, or is it a high frequency one? Right. So that we are going to determine. If it's a tap and pay feature is there, then I'm going to use one more tool to try that if this fails, right? So that we'll end of the day will know it's card details. Okay? But it's not something which I'm going to reveal to all of you. Don't worry. So meanwhile that is happening in the back end. Let's see the technologies which is behind that. So as I mentioned, there are two things, right? So RFID and NFC. So the RFID is widely used in all your cards, the debit cards and everywhere. Wherever you have this tap and pay feature, so that's where your NFC is going to kick in, right? You will see this small Wi-Fi symbol. Wherever I go, people talk about, okay, the Wi-Fi is not working. I was like, that is not Wi-Fi, that is NFC, right? The tap and pay feature which you have, that's your card which is with NFC. So how you're going to determine whether it's an NFC or RFID? So there's a technique to determine that. I'll show you that as well. Can you all see this? Low frequency, you would have seen all these small tags kind of items, which usually all these pets, if you have any pets in your home, so you wanted to put a dog collar, which will track that particular dog or cat. So that is actually with low frequency, right? The second one, high frequency, that's what is widely used in your bank cards, debit card or credit card. And again, this is a short range communication when it comes to high frequency one. That's why we call it as an NFC, near frequency communication. And low frequency, that is we call it as an RFID. It's again a part of RFID only, the NFC which we are talking about. So high frequency is used in your banking cards, and low frequency is used mainly in your small tracking devices or dog collars and things like that. Okay. Coming to your bank cards, so is it possible to steal the data from the card? So as I told you that it is possible to steal the card information, right? But when it comes to virtual cards, so it's not that easy or straightforward for you to get the data, because in your mobile phones you have to make sure NFC is enabled in it, so that only then these sensors will pick up that SIM card. Whenever you use that banking mobile applications, which is going to use this virtual card, for example, Google Pay, like I was telling, the Google Wallet or Apple Wallet, right, outside India. So they use that mobile application. Whenever the mobile application is used on your card with the information, so that time the NFC will get switched on automatically as a service in your phone. So that's when it's going to emit that data, so which is nothing but broadcasting your card information. So that's when you will be able to tap your phone and then pay. Got it? So until then, it is secure. So make sure that NFC is not enabled in your phones by default. If it is, please make sure you switch it off, because these technologies are going to come soon in India, or widely going to be used in your Apple phones and Android devices with Google Wallet and Apple Wallet. Why people might use it? You might be thinking, okay, I won't use it, so why to use a card over there? It's not only for that. These wallets are mainly used for even saving your airport check-in tickets are there, right? So you don't have to carry your tickets anymore. So you can have those data there. And you own any certifications, you can load it in your wallet. You have in your degree certificates, like DigiLocker we have, the same way you can have it in your wallet. So what sort of a, virtual items you have, which is confidential, you can save it over there. So even your tickets, your train tickets or bus tickets or airline tickets, right? So all these boarding passes, everything can be loaded there, including your bank cards as well. Bank, credit card, debit cards, your account details, everything can be loaded and maintained in the wallets. Apple Wallet and Google Wallet, maybe you can search it and check it out. If it is blocked in India or it's saying that it's not allowed in India, you use a VPN service and then install it. You'll still be able to use it. Okay. And coming to the technology, how we are going to see the differences here. So you see this, this is 125 kilohertz and 13.56 megahertz. So you see this copper lining. So if the bigger lining, the thickness is more, we can easily differentiate that to be a what? 13.56. 13.56 is which technology? Is it NFC or RFID? How many are telling NFC? How many are RFID? How many of you are telling NFC? Raise your hands. Okay. How many of you are telling it's RFID? Okay. So this is actually NFC. So we have told that 13.56, which is high frequency, which is in your cards, which is NFC, right? And that will be having a copper lining, which is a thicker one, right? How to see this? You can't, open all the devices and then see, right? So that's also this. And similarly, the antennas, if you see in the 125 kilohertz one, so that one will be a smaller one compared to the bigger one, which is with the 125 kilohertz, right? So that's one of the main differentiation that you can see. And when it comes to your cards, so you place any high beam torch lights, right, or IR lights, you can just beam it across the card in a dark room, then you will be able to see this data like this. You see this is a controller here. Have you all ever tried this in your cards, in your debit card, credit cards? It is there. Okay. So or your college entry cards, so attendance register cards. So all these things you guys can try it out. So you will be able to see a copper lining. Okay. Mostly these two will be your cards if you are in colleges. Okay. And these two are the high frequency ones, which is there in your credit and debit cards. Okay. So you'll see an antenna on the corners. So again, depending on manufacturer to manufacturer, how they are going to give the copper lining again matters, right? So some people will have a full circle, some people will have it in the corner. So that's why whenever you tap, it won't work in one side. Again, the payment fails. Again, you have to go and tap on another side or place it for 5 to 10 seconds, right? Whenever you are paying any amount with NFC, make sure at least you place the card for more than 5 to 6 seconds. People have a tendency of tapping and giving it. Obviously, it will fail, right? So at least 4 to 5 seconds. Make sure you keep it. Okay. And what are the major gadgets which is widely used? We have bracelets, and similarly we have stickers and coins, which is with NFC and RFID. Key fobs, again cards. All these are technologies or the gadgets which is widely used by us in a day-to-day basis, in some other means in your work environment or any other places, which uses these two technologies. That's where your RFID and NFC comes. And how it works, let's see a demo here. You have a tap and go feature, is it? Enabled, right? Yeah, got it. That's right. I was just checking if it is 125 kilohertz. So now keep your card with you to tell me if it is correct. Okay. So I didn't read his card completely, right? Like I just kept it over there and then I didn't memorize. I don't have that much good memory, right? So your card number ends with 3898, right? Expiry is on 12/27, right? So that's the only month and year would be there, correct? Do you know the date? Date won't be mentioned in the card, right? I'll tell you it's 31st. So it's actually 31st of 12th month, 2027 is when your card is getting expired. That information is there in the card, but it's not printed. CC himself doesn't know. But that the device was able to capture. Okay, anyone wanted to give it a try? Because there are credit cards for which it's going to tell exactly how many times you have did an ATM attempt on entering your password. Let's say you tried 2 to 3 times, only one attempt, which is remaining, right? So that's also been shown. And most of the ATM devices, whenever I go there, there will be 1 or 2 cards lying over there. Have you guys ever seen that? Have you ever tried to use those cards? Please don't use it. Because there are a lot of scams and cyber incidents are there behind that. I use the cards sometimes to see who's the owner of it, because it will be printed on the name is printed on top of it, and where exactly is the geolocation, all these things. I'll just track it to see, is it actually malicious or someone have missed their card, or is it like the card got stuck in the device and then they kept it over there for people to collect it back. So ideally that should not be the case. Ideally it should be returned to the bank authorities. But that's not been done. In most of all our ATMs, there will be at least 1 or 2 cards lying over there. I've seen that. And what can go wrong in that? By mistake, if you find any of those cards, and I'm able to just virtually capture it, but keeping the card over there, so that the actual legitimate person will come and collect it, or they will get returned to a bank, so they'll issue a new card, or if it is the same card, they're going to issue to the same person, right? So in that case, the attacker is going to just wait. Even for a month, it's totally fine. What if the person is going to keep 1 lakh in his bank account? I'll wait for 1, but not a big deal, right? But you have the card information. What can go wrong? You need OTP, right? For every transaction? Is it mandatory?
Below 10,000,
Sorry? Okay, NFC is not asking for OTP. That's okay. That's one good thing. Correct. Limit is also there, around 5 to 10K. What else? Consider there is no, forget about NFC. I have just the card information, the expiry date, the years, and the card information and things like that. So what can go wrong? Without OTP, is it possible to get the money or not?
Yes, sir.
How?
Swiping.
You don't have the card with you. The card is actually with the person. You tried the card, it got stuck. You are the next person in the ATM queue, and you got the card. You just scanning it and leaving it over there. He'll grab his own card and he'll go and use it. And he'll top up with 1 lakh or 2 lakh in his bank account for any of the other purpose, medical emergency, whatever. Right? You have the card information in this hacking device. What can happen? Can you guys think of? Without OTP, where you can use this?
Tap and
Sorry?
tap and pay.
Tap and pay doesn't work. So that's one thing I wanted to tell you guys. Tap and pay is not going to work with this device, because all these banking cards are going to use some technology called EMV. These cards are called as EMV. Okay, so these EMV cards are not something which you can initiate a transaction with. Even though I cloned this card now with all the card information, so I can't use it to send the same frequency in which the NFC operates. We know the frequency range, but still the same encryption data which is going to send to the POS devices. If you are wondering what is a POS device, the swipe machines which you see right in the payment sections, whenever you go in your malls and other places, that swipe machine which you have seen, so that we call it as POS terminal devices. So the POS devices will know how to interact with that particular card and that particular encryption with which it will communicate, so that can't be replayed. That's not that easy. But you still have your card information now. So NFC through payment, it's not going to work. Anything else you guys can try? Can you think of anything else? Because this is one of the interesting ones. I wanted to spend more time on this. Because I wanted to make sure that all of you are at least secure with your own cards. Because we have seen one person here, right? So he have a brave heart, so he showed his SBI card and the card information is here, right? With the date, again, the OTP attempts and everything is there, but I don't want to dig in deeper on that because it's personal information, right? So let's not dig into that. Yes. Have any questions? Anyone? Can anyone tell me like what can go wrong with the card information?
because if you able to get a new card, when cards have been lost, so we can demand bank for giving a new card, so
Okay.
that we can set a pin in the.
Correct. So what if you got your card from the ATM itself? You suddenly remembered and then you come back from a home and then get the same card and you'll go, right? You think that okay, no one would have used, your card is lying over there, let me use it. We'll think about okay, again going to bank because I left the ATM, the card was left over there. Within 5 minutes someone would have stolen. No one will think of that, right? People will simply go and use their cards. Correct? What can go wrong? Please tell me yes. Any guesses? Wild guesses, totally fine. Even if there is no answer called wrong answers. We're all here to learn something, right? Yes.
Debit card transactions.
Debit card transactions. Okay. Anything else?
We can pay the money.
Was it? Sorry?
Paying the money without ATM card.
Correct. So that's one point. So mainly within India, our payment securities are very good compared to any other companies outside India, I would say. Why? Because Visa and MasterCard have did a great job in making sure OTP is everywhere, right? Most of all transactions you will get an OTP. But guess what? There are sites, including Amazon, outside India, you can pay without your OTP. You can use the same card to purchase whatever hacking gadgets also I wanted, or I wanted to purchase some illegal devices and put you behind bars, I can do that. With the same card, I'll get it delivered to some other random address. I'll go and collect it from there and go to my home. And you will be victim for it because your card was put over there, and you will be part of the cybercrime, right? And you will be behind the bars. So this is what is happening widely, right? So make sure, even if your card gets stuck in your ATM machine, make sure you inform the bank authorities. And you might be wondering, oh, how can I do that? I'm in a remote place in my own village where only one ATM is there. I swiped it in and it got stuck. Bank is not anywhere near to 10 kilometers. How do I inform them? Always customer support will inform them so that they'll arrange with them that particular day or the subsequent day. But till then, they'll put an out of order board outside that. But there is one more catch. If possible, you break the card somehow. Okay, and that card, try to get it back. If it is completely went inside, it's totally fine. But nowadays, that's one of the main reasons why all these ATMs will never keep your card inside the device. It will eject it for sure, right? Earlier days, it was the case like you put it, it will go inside, and then it will never come out, right? Until the transaction gets completed. And when you cancel it, it will get stuck over there. That's the frustrating moment, you trust me, like, because I have been a victim for that twice. And then I have to run behind the bank agents to get that sorted, and then they'll open up the device and then give me the card. Or else I have to reuse the card, right? So that's the case. So, but nowadays it's like you swipe and take it out because they have that chip enabled card. So before to that, there is no chip enabled card. It's a magnetic stripe one. So it has to put it inside. It has to wait for some time to read that. Then it comes out. So that's the problem. But now we have the chip enabled card, and then NFC is also there, which made our payments easier, but which made a lot of things worse with respect to security, where I can read the card information. Right? It's not only for NFC, the tap and pay feature. That's the latest one which all of you are using, right? So that's the card which he is also using in SBI. So the same, I was able to simply clone it, right? I was able to see that. It's not cloning, it's more of a reading the data, right? Cloning is something like you replicate. So I have shared a bunch of cards here, right, for all of you. So those are different card technology which is widely used, not in your banking sector. So this is the card which is, other than banking sector where we use, these cards would be there. Specific to banking sector, I have two. But I don't want to circulate this for sure. Or maybe I'll circulate one more card. So can you guys think like how do you protect this? Okay, right now he's given his card. Even if he doesn't give it, I know he is having his wallet put in his back pocket. I can just walk next to him, right? The card data is gone, right? For example, let's see. Can you bring your card a little closer? I'll show you. For example, guys, one card is here, okay? So, okay, the presentation is just a second. Yes. So what I'm going to use is like, there is a read option, right? I'm just using this, right? So I'm just taking the card next to it. That's it, right? That's how soon it is done, right? I hope they didn't make a note of it, right? Make sure there's an editing done on the video, okay? Or else you have to change your card. Okay, so anyway, one other option I'll tell you guys, even if you're wondering, okay, that card was shown here, right? So one option I would suggest you to do is, so in your banking mobile application, we have an option to enable or disable an NFC. And international POS transaction or retail transaction, you can control it in the mobile application itself. So you always make sure that it is switched off. Even if the card information is there with someone, they can't use it unless you enable that feature in your banking application. So that you know that, okay, international transaction you're not going to do every day, right? So why to enable that? Only while you're traveling outside India, you're going to use it. So disable that, they'll get frustrated, they're not going to use it. So that's the case. Yes. Yes. No, we can't do that. So that's why these cards, EMV technology I told, right? That's the type of card which we're using for NFC. And NFC is the technology which is behind that. There is a certain frequency. Even though I'm able to read it, I can't replay that or emulate or clone it. So that is not possible. If someone is able to do that, that is a devastating thing, right? So anyone can just walk in a mall and then capture, let's say, 20-30 cards, and then they are settled for life, right? They can use the payment anywhere. So that's not something which is that straightforwardly possible, because banks have made sure that that is secure enough. Okay? So that's something there. So you don't have to worry about it. And when it comes to the basic RFIDs, sensors, just a second, let me show that here. So you see this here. So how the low frequency is detected within the device, and this is for the RFID. This device will send the signal here. So that's when this card will get activated. Till then it won't be activated. So you might be wondering, okay, I have a card which doesn't have a power source, right? So have you ever thought how it is working? Your cards. Your debit card, credit card is there. So they're using NFC and all these things. Does it have a power source or battery in it? Then how is it working with all these technologies, NFC and all? Tap and pay feature. Have you guys ever wondered? Where's the power source for it? In your tap and pay. How does the device knows this is the card, and card knows, okay, this is the device where I'm going to pay?
It's a magnetic stripe, the data will...
Magnetic stripe is a different technology, which is the older one. So we have moved from that, we went to RFID, and now we are in the NFC stage, where tap and pay is also there, with chip card. So for example, consider this type of a device which is placed in your colleges where you wanted to enter within the lab premise or somewhere, right? So this is your transceiver, which is this is an RFID sensor basically. It will have a transceiver. So that is going to talk to your card. So right now card is in off state, right? Which is there lying in your pockets or ID cards. When it comes closer to the device, just a second. So what it does is, it will send a okay wake up kind of a call which is made to that particular card. So that's when the card will get activated. You see this? It told that wake up. Then when it comes to in the close range, so it sends as if okay wake up kind of call, and that's in the signal range. So I'm just giving an example here, annotation. And okay, something on RFID. If it is coming near to any other technology, it's going to sit idle, right? When it's actually an RFID sensor which is there coming next to that, the copper winding which is in the card, that gets activated, right? So because we know copper is capable of transmitting data, right? Signals, data, heat, everything it will transfer. So that lining will get activated, and obviously the information will be shared from this particular card to the transceiver and the vice versa case. So that's how the card is working, right? And the same goes to this hacking device as well. You see this? There's a lining here. So again, there will be a small lining inside this, and the outer line is for the RFID. The inner line is for NFC. So, sorry, the outer is for the NFC, the inner line is for the RFID, right? Because the thicker the line, we call it as an NFC, right? And it's a high frequency antenna which is there in the corners of the device. So that is capable of reading your cards. Okay? Any questions before we move on to the next topic? Or we'll take a small break for 10 minutes, then we'll resume back. What do you guys say? Meanwhile, you can ask me whatever questions you have, how to protect your bank, mobile applications, or debit cards, credit cards, which is secure, which is non-secure, whatever you have in your mind. So we'll take a quick short break of 10 minutes, okay?
I think we won't go to sleep.
So, so guys, whatever knowledge you are acquiring here, please make sure it stays here with respect to the live demos. Even though it is part of the YouTube live, that's totally fine. But still, some of the discussions what we're going to have after the session also just keep it with you, okay? So the part of the session is totally fine. I was not aware that there is a YouTube live which is planned here, but still totally fine. Let's have a quick 10 minutes break. So anyone have any queries meanwhile? Feel free to ask me. And I've given a bunch of cards to circulate around. Have you all seen that?
What's the name of the card?
It's written on the card itself, right?
Yes.
Below the card, that's the range of the card.
Why that name? Is there any...
That's a tag. For example, you have SBI, Kotak, all these are vendors' names, right? Like that, the card have different types. So those are the short words or short names for that card. To give an example,
Is there any specification for the?
Yes, it is. So for example, MyFA Classic 1, you guys can see these cards. This is my personal cards, by the way. So if you guys want to. So this is the gaming card and this is the full court card, right? So these two cards are not having any of the chips in it, right? It's only a magnetic stripe which is enabled, which is widely used in malls and game centers and everywhere. So that magnetic stripe cards are basically based off MyFA Classic 1K. That is the technology. If you want to understand a little bit in easier fashion, so this is a kind of an old technology. Like in authentications, you have basic 64 authentication, right? And you have latest ones now. Like that, this is an older version, and after that we have RFID, NFCs, and latest type of chip-based cards, which have latest technologies in it. So this is a magnet stripe-based card. So this is with MyFA Classic 1. So the cards which I circulated around for you guys to see. Likewise, we have 16 plus standards which are there. There are beyond that as well, but I collected around 16 which is widely used. Okay. And other than that, for banking and few other things also I have few cards. So this is again some cards which is with encryption. For example, your bank cards which is with, let's say, certain technologies they'll use, right? For example, standards, the industry standards or RBI regulated standards. Based on that, they have to use only that card to manufacture for their banks. So for that, they have certain list of cards. So those I have it here. I can't circulate this. If you guys want to, please come and take a look at this closely, because if I circulate, it will be a big mess. That's why. Okay? Because there are a bunch of bad things can be done with that card. So there's a quick break for 10 minutes. You guys can take your 10 minutes break. If anyone wants to see the cards and other things, you can come and see this here. And no one asked me like how to protect it. Because I'll keep my wallet out here. I'll bet anyone to steal the information with the same device. You won't be able to do it. You should ask me why. That's something I was expecting for all of you, how to protect it. And that too you volunteered, you didn't ask. You can protect it, obviously. Everyone can protect it today itself. By the end of the day, going home. I'll make sure that all of you are protected. Just that you have to purchase something for 500 rupees, that's it. So that all of you are protected.
So what kind of app you are using for any type of transactions, like Google Pay? Same technologies, whatever you guys are using. I use Google Pay.
Casing what we are
Pay.
using.
Sorry?
So the case what we are used to store our ATM cards and debit cards.
Wallet, you mean?
Wallet covers.
Just a normal leather pouch with a. It's a normal one, right? So a normal pouch, nothing different, nothing fancy. But how do I protect it? That's the key, right? So how to protect it? Can you guys tell me? Is there any option to protect it? I already told it is, but.
NFC.
Okay, that's in your mobile phones. But your cards will give the information anyway. If I walk next to you guys, right? How do you protect that? Any guesses? I'll circulate one card, you guys can see that. So this is actually an RFID and NFC blocker. So you place before and after your card in your wallets, so that any devices which is coming in contact, even your payment systems, POS devices or these hacking devices, it can't read it. This card will block that card. It's that simple. And if I wanted to identify which technology it is using, for example, if it's a low frequency or high frequency, I have one more card with me for that as well, which is again an ID card kind of a thing, but it have a small chip on top. Can you guys see? This is a small LED. This is actually a redeem gadget I'm showing you guys. This is used for physical redeeming, which we call it as like all these law enforcement agencies or any real-time attack scenarios you want to show in a corporate network to see how secure are they, right? For example, if your college dean or someone is asking me, or director is asking me to see if our swipe cards are secure enough. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tap this card and see which technology they are going to use it, right? Or they're using it first. So this will blink. Do we have any control systems here? By any chance? So lab, it is there. So anyway, 10 minutes break, right? All of you come with me. I hope you guys will be enjoying this session, right?
section of there
switch it off and give me the remote. I just have to try it with the so that I can show you guys something. A bunch of white cards really white card punch.
So the white card So what is the pin inside?
You can do it. Okay.
What is the pin inside?
Pin. There is no pin in this. So it is more of like a blocker. So it will block whatever frequencies come in, right? It's a frequency blocker. So whatever
Not allowed to any communication.
any communication, it's kind of a blocker. You have a barricade in the road so that you can pass it through. Like that, this will block pretty much all frequency ranges. Basically NFC and RFID. So you can put it in your wallet so that it will block it. So you won't read the cards. So I'll have this in my mom's wallet, my parents, or everyone's. So you're talking about mobile banking application.
So using mobile app, you can block the transaction.
You can block the transaction if there is.
options called block the domestic transaction.
Oh, that's what I was telling you. So international POS transaction, everything you can block it.
So we can also block domestic transaction.
Domestic also, you can do both are possible. But how long you will keep it blocked? That I can just have to try once in a while whenever you are sleeping, you will try that. It works. That's a problem. So that's why keeping this thing will safeguard you.
Right, sir.
But this is very cheaper one actually. Even 200, 300 rupees you can get. Different companies are there, but this one worked well actually. So that's why I got this one. You can see this. Amazon. Get it home delivered today itself. Just one day delivery. Yeah. This one? The other one, that is for the. Sorry? No, triple zero.
So this cannot be hacked.
Sorry?
This cannot be
No.
hacked.
This is just a frequency blocker. There is nothing to do with this. There is nothing written or anything of that sort. Just a blocker. The other one is this one, ICOPX. So this ICOPX is actually a universal lock which is used in every law enforcement agencies. So we use this to go on every time. And the same thing they have made it into a small card also. Law enforcement basically.
Sir, I requested NFC payment. The NFC request to the pay for machine request.
அது அவங்க என்ன பண்ண முடியாது
அந்த அமௌண்ட் வந்து நம்ம அந்த request amount வந்து நம்ம create பண்ணி frequency
you can't, like that's what the communication which happens is a secure channel. So that communication from the card to the device, that is something secure. That you can't crack it. It's something that encryption every bank have. That's why the RBI they make sure every time it's audited. Every document they are audited. This is a fake debit actually, as part of payment village, which is actually a payment villages from DEFCON, Black Hat conferences which happens every year. So there is one security researcher I know there. So he gave me this card as part of the village when I attended it. So that's a fake card which will work as a scanning chip is also there. You scan with this card, it will show a number and everything. And there's a CTF challenge within that card. Like a security challenge, like how you play, right? That's what's there. That's called payment release. So they talk about all the payment related security issues, how secure is Visa, MasterCard, all this is actually MasterCard company. So we have a good security Visa regulations in that. MasterCard is company. They have good protections in this. Visa is also good. Even India is very good because all have OTP. Outside India, like no one has any OTP. Anyone can go ahead and steal your card and you can use it forever. So that's why all these foreigners are coming to India. They are all worried because of their card. You can use it forever. All these things are very useful. Earlier it was not. Right now also it is banned in certain countries actually. So they, it can be purchased, but the problem is you can't use it. If you use it if long for something, you know that the police are going to complain about it, you will be behind us. Again, I have an approval of all these things, right? You can tell that, but people don't use it for anything. What is ethically wrong? That you can know without having the business open. It's the same technology. It's there in the ID card. So why to have this in the last question? So what is radio frequencies, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, everything to SMS can use for all those things. This is a multilingual device which supports everything. This is all sort of technology. How to store? It is there in the documents that I just save it. Don't worry, I didn't save it. Get the AC remote. I want to try that. Let's try that. Projector is smart projector. Smart projector. Then we should try this. Oh, sometimes it will be rolling through, sometimes I don't really guess that. I'll show you what this is. Okay, we'll show this, then get the AC remote. There is smart light or all are switch smart light. The project is working, AC on. Project is also coming in. You will see that close to break. AC remote. Oh. So in my home, I've made sure I've recorded every device so that I don't have to search for all these remotes. Always has capabilities.
Video, I will make sure it's an image, not the actual words for this. So what about it's a
Implementation here பண்ணிடுவீங்க.
How many of you use iPhones here? Anyone using iPhones?
No.
Was the break? We'll try some live hacking on that as well. Need some time for fast food you can take the picture. But not now, maybe session.
And one photo, sir.
Yeah, because I have to put somewhere.
So how many photos you want, sir? How many photos you want, sir?
That's fine. Like, I can take 2 or 3 minutes during the session.
Okay.
That introspect one.
Okay. Already used to
Everyone back, or should we wait for some of them? People next to you, you can check and let me know if everyone are there.
problem.
KGCAS also familiar.
In KGCAS, close.
5 years and 6 years.
Sir, 6 years. It should be more than 10 now. I remember his face because he's my IT admin when I was in college.
Oh.
Yes, everyone back? Can I get started? Okay. So where did we left? We back on the topic. Let's see if I have everything. Yeah, we were supposed to go to one place where the access control is there, right? So where exactly is was that? I have a poor memory. You guys have to correct me, please.
Authorized to access that? Something like that?
Any IT admins are here? Okay, we set up. So you have access control systems there?
Those, but not allowed.
Not allowed. You guys are allowed, right?
We are allowed.
Yeah. Go and place this card next to that. It's not going to do anything. It's just going to blink the LED left side or right side. And let me know which side it blinks. It blinks. So nothing happens. Don't worry. It's nothing of illegal hacking or anything as such. It's just noticing the frequency rate. That's it.
Are you doing the exit or not?
Just take it next to that. It will blink the LED.
It's deep there, no?
Which side was it? Yes. Left side or right side? Left side. Okay. So it's using low frequency 125 kilohertz. I might have to tell your management to change that. Why? Because the reason why I've asked you guys to check this is to understand, okay, just to take away, right? You guys have learned something here. So you have to protect something, right? One thing you guys have learned is, I think YouTube live is switched off. If you guys want, you can record so that is also part of it. Who is controlling that?